Yes. Okay, guys, welcome to this is our deal night usually, so it's kind of developed organically into we have some lenders, we have associates who also are lenders, so we kind of give everybody a round robin. A couple, we'll do it twice. We usually go around the room, one have the new people introduction. We got two new people tonight, so I want to introduce them, but I also let me kind of real quick, if I just want to ask Gwen to kind of speak about, we just talked about the gap that she's working on, but the EMD is in place. I did want to give everybody update so everybody knows that it's in the group that I did send our EMD agreement off to my lawyer friend who's actually reviewing it. And then he agrees 100% with it. He's researching one line. And so when I will have it posted for everybody Wednesday, I was supposed to do it Friday. He just wanted to contact a colleague and see if it's just basically a line to compel the escrow and title company to repay the EMD lender at the closing. We have that information in there. So it's just if you guys that are new, I'm sorry, I'll get you guys more caught up on Wednesday with it. I'm just giving everybody a heads up on the recording that the document we were going to have it out Friday. This is an EMD. It's an agreement basically between the seller, a wholesaler and an EMD lender, where the EMD lender gets repaid on the settlement at closing. And so that is very important because if these EMD loans they could be $2,500, they could be 5,000, they could be 10,000, they could be more. They are quick loans, sometimes one day, sometimes up to 30 days. They're not longer than 30 days. So for those of you guys who are new or those guys who haven't been here, Gwen has stepped up and she's going to be the transaction coordinator, pretty much handling the EMD. So if you have EMD funds, if you're a lender, there's a lot of people in the group, about 20 people that have indicated they have anywhere from $5,000 to over $100,000 that can contribute. It's basically pooled. You don't have to put the money anywhere. You don't have to send it anywhere. You keep it until it goes to the title company. It only goes to title or escrow. It does not go to anybody else. There's specific instructions. So if you are in that position to do that, then you need to get with Gwen. Also, if you're interested, if you need EMD funding, we're doing the A to B, the B to C transactions. We have the purchase and sale agreement. In the files tab, you will see the purchase and sale agreement as the PSA. You will see the wholesale contract, and you will see the wholesale A to B and the wholesale B to C. Those are really the four documents besides the CMD form that will kind of, it's all for wholesaling and stuff like that primarily. But if you do need an EMD, loan for any kind of transaction, then you also want to get with Gwen. She's obviously in the group, so you can put in the group, just at anybody. So at GWEN, Gwen will come up and you can reach out or you get with her, get her phone number, get her email address. So she stepped up. She'll go over some of the details on that. There is a transaction fee, things like that. But for those of you guys who haven't met Gwen yet, she was with the Federal Reserve Kansas City branch, which also sees the Omaha and Denver uh, Federal Reserve banks. And then she was a friend of Kevin. So many of you guys who know Kevin know, they 2010 Kevin got called into the Kansas City branch, and that's where he got called into that branch that there to talk about the housing crisis. So that's a pretty good. So Gwen came on board a couple months ago, so she'll go over some of the stuff, what some of the requirements are. A lot of stuff's in place now. Wednesday we'll have an agreement. We may use an agreement. You guys know who Cameron Barry is. Those of you guys who don't know Cameron, he was in our first group. We did this back in 2020, probably 23, 24 years old, just out of college. Now he's got investors, he's got partners. He's the guy that you guys see that basically can help you get 50 rental properties. You have to be in the Midwest. You have to get a 700 FICO score. He can help you. They usually start with 2 or 3 up to 50. So, and they can do a lot of states. It has to be in the Midwest. There's some other states like the Carolinas and stuff. You can, if you guys need information, there's one of the Zoom videos that I've sent some of you guys and it's posted. Cameron talks about it. You can also go at in the groups, CIMREN, Cameron Barry. Cameron can go over that program with you, but Cameron's people also are doing some of the EMD. They talk to Kevin and Gwen, and they have an NFL player who's not going to be, we're not going to disclose. I don't even know. Kevin might, but there's an NFL player that has put $1 million of his own money. Obviously, you guys know the history. Sometimes NFL players and other people end up broke after their careers. So this guy's proactive, trying to invest money to, like you guys, he's trying to put money in to make money, even while he's still playing. Obviously, you guys know in the NFL, they have their rookie contracts. A lot of guys get stupid. They have that second contract, maybe when they hit free agency. then they have that final contract before they retire. If they, the average career in the NFL is like 3 years. If they make 10 years, they probably have three contracts. So, so this guy's pretty proactive. And so we also have another gentleman who's coming on board who actually has come on board. He's not on tonight, but he's got a couple of potential NFL and other professional athletes as well in his group. So we're gonna have a lot of money coming for you guys, EMD wise, gap money, and then going like we're talking about, gap. Maybe some of these guys that are coming in with, like coming with John. It's hard to pronounce his name. OT something. You guys see him sometimes posting in groups. He's supposed to be joining us today or tomorrow. He was had a couple closings, and then he's done over he's been a lender for 20 years, and so he's going to be coming on board, and he's bringing a lot of resources. Brian Kramer's also coming on board. As he's got four or five each. Every one of those people has $100,000 or more to contribute. So keep in mind. So when we're structuring these deals, you guys can reach out to Gwen. She can help you put the deal together for your EMD. If you're loading EMD, you need to get with her as well. So I'll kind of just real quick introduce the two new gentlemen who are here. So I know Jake, you joined over the weekend, and Drew joined today. So welcome, guys. I'd like everybody to reach out. We got, a lot of people have been with us. Matt and Angel are actually part of our what we call our PMAOG. We're still working on that. We started in 2019 and 20. The pandemic kind of obviously, like a lot of everybody else's life, kind of got a little bit in the way. And so they are two of our first our real group that we started about 4 years ago. So they've been around a while. You guys will see some of them from time to time come in. That was going to be there was going to be a large capital raise that we were working on at that time, and that kind of got shelved because some investors were kind of got leery or scared of putting money into things this was like May and June of 2020, so you guys know how much the world was screwed at that point. But I did want to introduce Drew and Jake. I mean, I don't know, you want us to go first and kind of
Yeah, I can
introduce
go.
us? Yeah, Drew.
All right.
So
Well, yeah, my name is Drew Greco. Excuse me, I'm the managing partner of Roma Capital Investments. We're a new company. It's my wife and I mainly right now. We're in the multi-family, arena. We've been really proactive. I mean, we're getting out there, we're networking, we've been out there sourcing deals and things like that. I'm actually currently underwriting a deal right now here in Las Vegas, 57 units. Look, a lot of potential, and we'll see how it goes. I'm also working with other syndicators right now, and currently capital raising for a property in Wichita, Kansas. So, trying to raise $500,000. So I'm rolling right now, but I'm at the beginning stages of this new venture. So I'm here to support and learn and try to build my business and network as much as possible.
okay, well, welcome, and a couple of people you may want to get with Angel. Angel's kind of like our guy. He's an expert on underwriting on
Okay.
multifamily and stuff. So just if you now to make the introduction, that's a good up. If you get a chance to, you guys can chat it, do in the chat room or whatever, exchange information. But like I said, I've known Angel for 5 years, and he's been in our groups for four. So he
Let,
is
let,
probably
let me
one of
re,
the
let
best.
me re, let me rephrase that. I'm
Yeah,
not an expert. I'm learning, and I
yeah,
like to
but
help and
he's kind
learn.
of
I'm
our
not an
expert.
expert.
Uh, that's right. There's always room for learning,
I know
right?
I give him credit though, because he's obviously I've known him for a while, and he's my guy if I need something for multifamily. Not that anybody else won't be when they we get
Sure.
to know each other, but yeah, he knows he's definitely a go-to though for
My
sure on
my
that.
little my little pet mongoose is a better underwriter and more expert than I am. I learned from him when he's running around in that little wheel.
But yeah, so yeah, you guys definitely should get
Yeah,
together
I'm
anyway.
willing to help or to learn or to whatever. If I can apply my 2 cents, that's great. Anytime whatsoever.
Yeah.
Excellent. Appreciate it. I'll definitely be getting in contact with you.
So Jake, yeah, you joined over the weekend. Take you off mute. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, my name's Jake. I've been a full-time investor for it's going on like 5 years now. We've done a little bit of everything. We have a pretty large portfolio, and mostly in Texas. We single families up to multifamily. We've done a syndication before. We've done a lot of fix and flipping, some wholesaling. At one point, we were fix and flipping like 10 to 15 properties at a time. And I don't do that anymore because it's too much brain damage.
Yeah. Totally.
So these days, our primary strategy is we do a lot of creative deals. We do a lot of wraps. So we're raising a lot of private money to fund the wraps that we do. We buy a lot with creative terms as well. And then I actually just live north of you. I live in Fort Collins, and we still do some fix and flips up here, where minimum our profits are about 75K per deal when we flip up here. So no more like $20,000 flips in Texas. We're doing like $75 to $100,000 flips up here in Fort Collins, and then doing a lot of our wraps and our creative strategies still with my team that's down in Texas. So
That's
that's my
cool.
story.
I didn't. Yeah, I totally just missed that you were in Fort Collins. Zeke's also around this area. We got a he does a lot of stuff in Wyoming and stuff. And then we got Mel Archulatas in New Mexico. He's in Farmington, so he's pretty close. And then also we got Bill is in Bill is in Grand Junction. So we got 4 or 5 of us here in within this area within a couple hours of each other. That's kind of cool. So that
Make
works
sure
out real well. And then we
make
got
mine lamb, okay? Make sure you make my wrap lamb.
oh
All
yeah.
right.
So yeah, so welcome. And guys, if you're new, you want to definitely check out the files tab. I do have to apologize. There's a lot of stuff in there. I've put a couple things in there a couple of times. I realized that today, but go in and look at stuff like the 1.0 database because there's a lender database. There's also a hedge fund and family office list. So you're welcome to download those and put them into your LinkedIn. And you can, if you get the hedge fund and family offices and all that. I didn't put the pension funds and endowment funds because they don't like to do real estate like on this level but I do have those as well. We have about 10,000 contacts altogether. So feel free to anything in the guides, anything in files, anything in guides. Chat, you'll see a chat. It's hard to find. People always ask me where chats are, and I sometimes I have a hard time finding them. I've tried to put the videos in there, but I haven't done a good job since August, September, and October. All these last maybe 20, I kind of have to put in there. I have to go back to YouTube and upload them to the chats. We try to organize into chats, guides, and files. Those are the three main areas where you can go to and just find, that we don't have to go through scroll everything because we do post it in the main group too. Usually it's fresh. Tonight I'll post this video so everybody can watch it so it's fresh. Doesn't mean that 3 weeks from now it's not going to be 100 posts down. So so I do owe everybody trying to put 20 those videos and I'll catch up this week and get them all in there. And I got a few more guides and we're done with guides. But those are guys, everybody's new. Obviously, we're doing what they call the 101 group, which is different from this group. The 101 group is for you guys who are associates who paid, and ideally you'll have a borrower and client base. And we're going to open that up. We have a lot of people signed up on the 23rd to do an onboarding. Associates are welcome to come and host them. What I'm designed to do is that you guys are lending money, your partners, or even you're looking for properties. These guys will come into a different group. It's at a lower price. It's basically going to give like 10% of what you guys get, just the very basic documents, things to help these guys. We're trying to get them away from the gators and things like that. Put them into your hands. Work with you guys too, and it's completely voluntary. If you don't want to work, if you want to do stuff on your own, that's cool. We have the 101 group, so anybody that's an associate, you can find that link to the 101 group and join. You're automatically in that one, so you don't have to. But it's like a borrower, client, partner, lead generation. That's what we're kind of doing is building up with them, trying to build people in who have a very, sometimes they might have one, they don't have any deals, or they might have 5. It's really not designed for a lot more experienced people yet, because I think that's kind of what the associates group is to get people experienced, people who want to lend money. A lot more people like, you're dealing with multifamily. There's not a lot of people who are brand new or, unless they're just doing 50 grand or 100 grand of their own money into an LP or something into a syndication. People aren't usually ready yet to do a syndication of their own. It's a pretty complicated thing, with the SEC, and we are doing some SEC stuff this weekend. I did post a few things today. I posted the NASA, NASA, not to confuse with the space agency. I put the NASA document. It's the company that basically coordinates all the fees you pay to the states like Colorado, California. I put that document in there, the fee matrix. It tells you if you're doing Regulation D, how much money you have to pay to all the states if you raise money using Regulation D, Regulation A. There's some, crowdfunding. There's also some, you don't want to get into obviously, an IPO. It's a lot more complicated, but I put SEC Edgar. You guys can go and see. SEC can get pretty complicated. But we do have a securities attorney whose friend who's going to be coming on in November. You guys know Jillian Sidoti. I've asked her to come on, and Meryl Calister. But if you guys go and look at Jillian on SEC, she did all of Grant Cardone's, all of his capital raises. Her signature's all over there. He's doing stuff outside of Regulation B, so his is a lot more complicated. It has to get approval from the SEC before they can raise money. It's not just Form B file and you file and forget pretty much. So that said, we're not really going to talk about a whole lot of SEC tonight. This is really designed for deal night. So if you got a deal to present, that's cool. We're trying to get all the lenders on. You guys definitely also want to reach out to Willie Ingram. I don't think he's not on yet. He may come on. Willie's always here on Wednesday nights, but he is somebody to reach out to in the group. He's awesome. He has a lot of second position lenders that he brokers for. So if you're looking for a second position lender, contact Willie in the group. Also, Casey, Clint McKinney, Addison Rosen. I think Ryan, I forget what Ryan's last name. Ryan's one of the co-owners of Life Changing Lending. And you guys see, I probably sent everybody a video that's new that wasn't on the video. Life Changing was on here a couple of times. Addison is she's a guru on DSCR. So if you need DSCR, just hit up at ADDI. Those first four letters will come up in the group. Reach out to her if you need a DSCR loan. KC, KA, CAS. I think he goes by a KAC, like Kansas City most of the time, but in the group she's KC the other way. Life Changing Lending can do almost 50 states. They have the no income, no credit check, no appraisal, closing 7 days in 4 states. They're going to 8 states for that. But they have lending programs in almost every state but Alaska and Hawaii. They have over 150, I think 159 lending partners. So they're in the position that, and I have a link. So if you guys want to just send information to them, you can use my link, or you can just contact Casey or Addison or Clint, which is KLINT. You guys can reach to those guys in the group. Ryan also is licensed in MLS. So if you know somebody out there, you probably can't do it yourself. You shouldn't do yourself. If you're gonna talk to people at FHA and VA, you need to definitely kind of get with them and kind of like how you do the language and give them the link. Let people send the link in. They can do FHA and VA on conventional mortgage. You get a nice referral fee off of it. So it's you can broker for them as well. What we talk about for you new guys that are just here is we do also have other income streams. We can help you if you want to broker. Like Matt has just signed up for Vizio. He's in the group right now. Matt is signing up for Vizio. He can also some other lenders. And so if you guys need another income stream besides wholesaling, it's awesome. So just think about the resources we have. We have a lot of resources that people just don't until they get here. I know some of the people are new, they pay in, and then all of a sudden they get to the group and they realize, what I'm talking about is, I've been telling you guys, it's like, holy crap, there's more resources. Willie's like, dude, this is like a library. It is, and unfortunately, Facebook's limited on how we present material. So, also for you new guys and the newer people, and the people who are listening who aren't on as much, we are still launching the virtual program in first quarter, somewhere between January and February of 2024. It'll be used the Lightspeed VT, like Vermont, Texas website. Their backbone, their technology.com. We are also it's going to launch. All of you guys have lifetime membership for being part of the beta test, and we are going to do revenue share of 33%. Now that may end up being like YouTube when you get your first monetized check from YouTube and it's like $19, but eventually it goes up. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm already doing the outlines. I'll start doing the videos in December. The modules, there's maybe 10 to 20 modules per track, and there may be 200 or 300 tracks on there. We're gonna have everything. We're gonna have mini courses. So if you guys want to do a mini course, you guys that are doing like multifamily might want to do mini courses. We might have security attorneys. There's different subscription packages that they'll be able to have. And if you guys want to use this, I'm going to put it in the chat just so you guys can check on your own. Just on your own, it's completely different industry. And I talk about this all the time. This company, as Storm Ventures Group, completely different industry. But if you go look at their contractor store and you look at their SVG university, we're going to be doing what they're doing in their university and their contractor store, where people can come into the and log in, and they can get their own set of documents that are branded, their name, everything's put on them for that. And then, if they buy the package and you guys go look at what Storm Ventures Group charges for some of their packages. It's like sometimes it's like almost like 2 grand. I don't think we'll be charging 2 grand, but a grand or so. You get 33%, $333 or whatever. Of every 1,000 will get kicked back to you guys, the associates who are going to be hosts and facilitators and all that stuff. So that'll happen sometime in the first quarter, the beta test, and then so that's a pretty significant thing. We're going to basically be able to do a document repository for everybody that's an associate paid in. So all that stuff that's in files tab now will eventually be a lot more organized once it's into Lightspeed. Lightspeed will have like a library. You'll have like you can click on something and it'll pull up everything that's related to that. So if you're looking for SEC to raise capital, you click on that. They might come up with the 10 or 12 things that you need your Form D, your Regulation D stuff, your sample PPM, things like that. If you're looking to do fix and flips, I mean, it's all gonna be organized. So just kind of tell you what I'm working on your behalf, as well as the one-on-one group. The one-on-one group is for you guys. So that will be the $399. Associate's going to get a 1,500 starting in 2024. If you guys recruit somebody to associate, you get $500 referral fee. If you recruit somebody to the one-on-one group at $399, you'll get a $100 referral fee. So think about that. You get one person to join as an associate in January. It's like the $399 is back to you, and you're up $101. We'll send it Cash App. I'll actually send it a couple of dollars over, so I pay the fee instead of you guys. So that way, it comes as a clean 101 or clean 500. We'll pay that on top of that. So I believe in doing that, making sure you guys have a clean referral fee. And we do a Cash App, so you don't have to worry about like, hey, it's like, a lot of things. People worry about that. So I just kind of want to do a round robin real quick, but I just want to see if Gwen, are you able to update everybody on the EMD or kind of let the new gentlemen associates kind of know what's going on, as well as some of the other ones that aren't on, so
You want me to give an overview of the EMD you said?
yeah, that would
Sorry.
be awesome if you could kind of talk to them about the EMD. And then
Okay,
we'll
so,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, so right now we have a number of clients that is reaching out to me, and I appreciate everyone that's go to the Facebook page and or reach out to me versus direct messenger, right? So we have a number of clients. I'm still putting together, I'm finalizing the process, and I plan to put the process out in the group chat. The group tomorrow, all groups tomorrow. So everyone to know from A to B, A to Z of the entire process with this EMD. But as I said earlier today, the ranges with the request is coming in up to $100,000. And a number of the clients are really in need of gap funding. We know that EMD is only 30 days max, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I am personally enlisting investors that is willing to kind of like back a number of our with the protection, of course, back a number of our new investors in the group and those that we can service with gap funding, meaning 6 months to a year. We'll all figure out the interest rate. And again, that is on the gap funder at that point in time. But we definitely need those kind of resources to also better equip our body of investors that is coming in. And another thing that I'm waiting on before we really kickstart is the contract that Nate, that you're working with the attorneys, because once we get to rolling, that document is a pivotal part of the entire process because it requires signatures from both and I'm gonna use EMD investors. I'm not going to use EMD lenders. And that's what you will see on my paperwork. They're investors. I want to shy away from the word lender when it comes to the EMD,
Exactly.
the EMD people. So yeah, I think that's basically everything that is going on. I very appreciative of those that is reaching out for help. But again, I am going to personally enlist, those investors, those gap investors that's willing to assist some of our clients in the ranges of 50,000 up to 100,000. The number just varies, but if they're willing to, come on board to do that, that would be awesome.
Cool, and I will have that document Wednesday night with or without, because if that attorney's looking, he's just looking at one line, but I can finish the rest of it and I'll go through it, and if I have to change to investors anywhere, I can do that and find and replace. I just have to
Yeah,
finish I just have to finish the check boxes and the signature boxes. So I'll be
yeah,
able to do that Wednesday morning, and then it's
okay.
good. And then if I have to wait for him to add a line, he was looking at just something that would be more compelling. That would be a compel, it would it basically is like force majeure, because I think that's the term for it. It basically kind of gives them no choice. The title company escrow agent has to handle it, to pay it out in the settlement, just like any
That's
other part. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct too. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's going to be another key part as well. We have a lot of seasoned investors in this group as well. So the thing that we're looking for is title companies that is EMD friendly. I have a couple, so that's going to like shy us away from Nate coming in and saying, I want to use my title company. But we're trying to develop relationships where we don't have issues when it comes to the process for EMD funding and making sure that the people, our investors, get their money back accordingly.
And you guys, this is something that we can take outside of the group at some point. Once Gwen has the process down, and all of you guys, everybody that's participating, everybody's listening and not on tonight, whatever. You guys, once we have the process down, we can start taking this outside of the group. That is another reason the one-on-one group brings a lot of people in that you guys can, if you guys are bringing people in, we'll figure out how to do any kind of referrals or anything. I don't know if we'll be able to do it or not. Sometimes the amounts aren't worth it, to say, hey, we can throw a referral fee out there. But, we want to be able to offer this internally at a fast clip and be able to expedite things because you guys have paid into the group and obviously it's a benefit to you. At some point, I would like to be able to take this outside of the group, but that'll be you guys. I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm going to start shifting over. Like for you guys who are new and people who are listening, we are putting an advisory board together. It's kind of loose right now because a lot of people have different things going on, and it's usually supposed to be designed around 7 of the associates. It may have to be a little larger because we'll have 100, but it's basically an advisory committee. It's basically a mix of a couple of different people that are lenders or investors, a couple of people that are brokers, a couple of people that are just regular real estate investors. So you have some borrowers. So we're supposed to have a little bit of a range of people, and it's just oversight. And I mean, nobody that's going to really get a benefit outside of just, hey, the reserve condition. It's really looking out for everybody and kind of starting to take it to you guys. At some point, the associates group makes the decisions. I'm going to start working on this one-on-one group for you guys. Kevin's working on some other things as well to bring you guys resources resources there. The one-on-one group is human resources for you guys. It's human talent, it's partners, it's borrowers, it's clients, it's everything that you guys can do business with. A lot of people that are new out there. I mean, you guys that are experienced know, hey, you get some new people and you can, you bring them into the guru-free environment and you bring them in where you guys can, hey, you guys get somebody brand new and they're especially when we get to the light speed, when we get to the virtual system, you guys, you guys will see a lot of the work that people do because you'll have access you'll have access to actually see that. The light speed is great because they can actually show people are doing the work. When I used it before, I had my roofing company. Angels know me long enough to know that when I was actually splitting time between my roofing company and my going into real estate. When I was trying to get into this, 2017, 18, and it's so basically, I was paying Storm Ventures Group $1,000 a month, and I had my sales people and my sales manager and my production manager were all in it, and they basically learned it. And they would take tests at the end of each of these modules I talked about. They'd be like 3 questions, 5 questions sometimes. So we'll still have that. It's not really and it's all going to be like multiple choice. It's not going to be like we don't want to prep people up. You guys go to the guides section, the guides in our Facebook group, you'll see some blanks. That's what the starting of the outlines. Those guides are becoming the outlines for the virtual program. So you'll see some blanks in there where you see some, I have an answer key that's going to be going into Lightspeed into the virtual system. So when you guys are a part of the associates group and we have the virtual system up, we have all these people that come into the one-on-one group and eventually join they're going to be paying, to be part of the virtual. You guys are free for life. You've already, so that's one benefit to being an associate now. You guys will actually get to see them doing the work. So how much does that help? Maybe somebody's brand new. They don't have any experience yet, but you see them doing the work and they're asking you to be a partner or to be their lender or their investor. Do you feel more confident working with that new person or somebody you just met off another group on Facebook? Because you get to know everybody. The beauty is that we're doing the Monday nights and Wednesday nights. So I'm going to throw this out now Wednesday night. Some people saw my post. I know Jake and Drew, you probably weren't in yet to see my post that I put in the group, but I did actually. We were going to go till the Wednesday before Thanksgiving week. We're actually going to go until nearly almost Christmas. We're going to basically come right back to Wednesday after Thanksgiving, and we're going to go to the week before Christmas with the Wednesday nights because the Wednesday nights will actually become the virtual program. Monday nights is year round. The only time we're not going to do Monday nights is Labor Day, Memorial Day, those Mondays that are holidays. Obviously, if Christmas or something becomes a holiday, we won't meet on those Mondays. That's just a natural progression, so just so you guys know, I just decided, we needed to get some more information out there for everybody that's newer. We have the EMD is going to take up a little of our time getting everybody training on the EMD, once we get the gap in place, things like that. So we're going to go in a little bit more capital raising. We're going to cover analyzers. You guys can download them out of the files tab. And then we're going to go back to the basics and talk about LLC's branding. If you guys need any branding help, logos, we have a guy I've used since 6 years named Zishan. You guys can find him in the group at ZEE. Zishan is in Pakistan. I met him on Fiverr. I've used him for everything for 6 years. I mean, I do all the posts you guys see all the time. I do those in Canva, but anything like logo wise, and he's gonna build our website. He built my website before we shut it down because it didn't, in 2019-20, it didn't really coincide with what we were shifting into that we had to shift out of because of COVID. But he's going to build. So if you guys need any of that, you guys can hit Zishan up. He just remember he's in Pakistan, but he's very responsive. He'll give you his Fiverr information. Zishan's awesome. He's really good at. He can do a website. He can do logos. He can do your branding package and all that stuff. He's really good. You might see him post in other real estate groups. But I've used Zishan for 6 years, so that's another resource you guys have. I've sent him probably 50 people, so he's very appreciative and he's awesome. And despite we have another member, another associate who's kind of not going to be back until January. She's from Texas, but her family's in Pakistan. So they're actually in the same city, Lahore. So it's kind of weird how that worked out. There's Islamabad, and there's what's the other one? There's a couple of cities in Pakistan. Obviously, Abbottabad is where SEAL Team 6 paid a visit that we all know about. Things like that. So yeah, so we have a lot of good stuff. So Gwen went over the EMD. Let me introduce you guys another key player who just signed on. You guys have heard me. Most of you guys know him that are in here, but Jake and Drew. This is Kevin. Kevin is my business partner, one of my two partners. Jesse's age. So Kevin's also in Kansas City, and he's known Gwen since 2010. So he was able to recruit Gwen to the group. So just say hi to Kevin. Kevin's got a really good background.
It only took me 35 minutes to get in tonight. So I started at 25 after. I can't make this up. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. But yeah, it's good to be able to get here on this. I've missed the last couple of these because I just didn't get to cooperate. We're pretty much in a position of actually moving now. So if anybody has anything working, we have all the elements to make it happen. It's just getting everybody together on the same page and then setting things up and then going. Because Gwen has pretty much the EMD system all set up for everybody. And then I think we're trying to get the second position lending all set up as well, so that if you have the proper deal structure, it should be 100% funding. And that's what you need to go for. The other thing is, I know a lot of people want to buy and hold right now. Probably be a better time to turn and burn, get what you can, and build up as much as you can. Put yourself back in the EMD market, because that's another one of those quick turn and burn things where it's safe. There's low amounts of money that you need to put into it, and be in a position of mobility so that when something does come up, you're in a position to jump on it right away. And then have people that are in a position to take it from you at a moment's notice. So that way you're fluid, because right now the only thing that's stopping everybody is liquidity, and that includes the commercial real estate market. And if we can demonstrate how to be liquid in an illiquid market, that's going to say an awful lot for our expertise, and that's everybody's concern. So this is one of the things, some of the skills that we need to start taking on. We've got about 5 to 6 weeks on this dress rehearsal before everything really goes live at the first part of the year. By the time the first part of the year gets here, if anybody's been watching the news lately, things could be getting a little sticky around here. So that's when you really have to be nimble, because there's going to be a panic in some people, and they're going to want to get out now. You want to be in a position where you can go, hi, I'm here. Okay, I can do that, but this is what it's going to take. Fine, where can I sign? Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, you have somebody that's wanting to get into this thing at a good rate and hold property, and they're just chomping at the bit. Okay, there's your B2C. Okay. Do not discount holding self-storage at this point. If you're going to do a hold, self-storage is what you need to get into, because it too is liquid, and you don't have to worry about whether or not somebody's going to pay you your rent, because you basically get their stuff. Somebody else is in a position to move right in after you get their stuff, clean the unit out, you're renting it the next day. Okay. And with everything that's coming up, people are going to need a place to store their stuff, because there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be able to live where they're currently living now, and they're going to end up having to change circumstances, like getting into your multifamily stuff you guys are going to be doing, I'm sure. And if you have a situation like Cameron where you can get multi-door single families and the numbers work, don't be afraid to get in on that either. So it's time to go to work, folks. And we're here to help. Anything that you need, just ask.
Cool. Real quick, since I just mentioned that his company. Let me see. Casey, can you talk? I know it looks like you were driving. Casey from Life Change. Cool. Guys, I just introduced you. I just talked about Casey's company with Clint and Addison on the DSCR. You guys can watch the videos that I sent, or I can send them if you didn't get them. Let me introduce Casey, because he just came on, and like I said, I was just talking to him about 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. Casey, if you can just run down, we have a couple of new people on tonight, and a couple other new people, but some people who haven't heard you talk before. Just so good timing.
Yeah. And I've been sick last couple days. They've had me in downtown Fort Worth, and basically trying to locate utilities down there has been like take a piece of paper over a spaghetti bowl, and then if you get any of that wrong when you paint it out, you're at fault. So I've been having either a nervous breakdown or just pure exhaustion. And then I was also sicker than a dog last couple weeks. So getting over that, getting back into it. So fix and flips, Texas, Arizona, Colorado, and Nashville. We can do a no doc loan, no credit check, no appraisal. With that product, we are finding they are getting tighter and tighter. So we're typically quoting stuff now with that. It doesn't matter if you have experience at 80%, because I just did one today and it came back at 68 purchase price, and then the rest was covered in down payment. That guy had no experience, and his liquidity on that he had to have was like almost 120,000. So they did not prefer that, which I don't blame the guy, because everything we quoted them was at 80%. So we do have another program that we're using that's nationwide. They do require a credit check, but they don't require an appraisal. And typically we can get up to 90% with them because of the credit check. So odds are a little bit better, but that investor charges 2 points for him instead of the usual one. So it is a little bit more pricey, but if you got time, that's one of the things we're suggesting right now, just because they're also needing kind of more stuff into the pipeline. So they're kind of easing off a lot of stuff with us to make it get through. DSCRs. So I've been talking to Willie lately. One of the things that we got approved is the ability to gap fund if the borrower brings 5%. The rest of the gap fund, the rest of the 15% can be covered by gap. So that makes their down payment now only 5%. Rest can be covered in gap. I believe you have to have cross collateralization with that. And you still have to show liquidity statements. So and the reason why is they still want to make sure you actually have money and it's just tied up. And that's usually why you need the gap fund, not because you're broke.
Yeah,
Casey,
exactly.
what states? Casey, I'm sorry. What states again for that one?
For the 90 to
5%.
95,
Yeah.
that's nationwide.
Okay. All right. Hey, me and you need to connect too. I'm gonna try to get with you after this meeting. Hopefully. I know you've been sick, or just text me. Okay.
Yeah, get with me tomorrow. The only reason is when I get home at 8, I gotta deep dive into one that just went south on me.
Okay.
So I gotta get on the phone with Title. Because we booked a meeting with them and everything. It's crazy.
All right.
It ain't real estate if you ain't losing your mind. So
I know, right?
So yeah, we how did running through those leads that you bought, how did that go?
We'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Casey, she and Kevin did get they have got the EMD program for us pretty much set up. We're finishing our document, and they're going to be working. Cameron Barry's he's bringing some people to help, including an NFL player is putting in their own money. So
but with Cameron people though, and I want to kind of make this like really clear.
Yeah.
You still would come through me first.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Cameron is me. I want that to be like the perception right now. I'm Cameron is me, and we just sound differently on the phone, right? But this is this is in order for us to kind of keep this process streamlined, because their investors would never be known. So that is one thing that we want to keep that. So I know that you keep saying that, but they are
I won't say that anymore.
That's one of the reasons why I set her up as a transaction coordinator at this point, because she really has the most experience at being able to pull this stuff together at a moment's notice. Not to mention, has pretty much seen everything that's out there and knows how to tune it up. And what we're trying to do here is to make this as efficient as possible for everybody on all programs, because as Casey's already talked about, the liquidity monster is already working themselves into his company's programs. And that's going to continue to happen. And we're going to have some people in our system that doesn't have the capability of being able to do that. And we're also going to have lenders in our system that is going to be able to work through those kind of situations. So being able to flash move into something at a moment's notice is basically what happens when you have a liquidity crisis, because everybody else, all of a sudden, you don't have anything there and you had it yesterday. Okay. Seen this happen back in 2008. So I know what it looks like. And with our capabilities and everything that everybody has, the mass variety of lending products that we all have access to here, it should be a lot easier for us to actually win at this. But Gwen's experience, hands down, is probably the best way to go as far as being able to, check something out, transaction coordinate, whatever needs to be done to get something through. And that's at all levels of investor experience. But with Lightspeed coming on in January, we should be able to cut down on the inexperienced real quick, because that thing's tailored to get inexperienced people experienced quickly. So this is the idea behind this so-called dress rehearsal. is to be able to work these little kinks out between everybody and just understand that Gwen is the go-to for trying to make sure everything works, because she's been doing this ever since we got this thing started in 2010. She is on top of it. Okay. So keep that in mind, everybody. And then don't be afraid to call each other either.
Because
You know,
there's,
start interacting.
yeah, and we're gonna try to do as much as we
On
can.
the
in the group.
sidelines, those of you been sitting on the sidelines, it's time to get engaged.
And like we talked about earlier, the one-on-one group, I'll be building that for you guys. That's your client. Your, like I keep saying, I keep emphasizing this, is your client base, your borrower base, your partner base. And you guys can also get deals, you know, these guys may be wholesalers. I'm trying to bring wholesalers in who want to do the way we're doing with EMD rather than clouding titles. You know, all the stuff you guys see that everybody complains about that wholesalers do. I'd rather get people that are want to come into our program through the one-on-one. They work with you guys. You guys then have access, direct access to them. They're going to do things right through the A to B, B, C transactions, use EMD and all that stuff. Then you guys are going to actually get better deals through them if that's how you choose to source. Otherwise, like if you're in a single family, you guys really want to use Privy. There's really nothing. We got PropStream. I know Angel's really big on what LoopNet and you know, obviously their company. They have some good not LoopNet, but their parent company, CoStar. CoStar is really expensive though, guys. So it's like,
CoStar is massively expensive,
oh
but
yeah,
guess who has a Connect on it?
yeah,
Me. So I can run comps on CoStar for y'all. And then I can do I have MLS access, and then I also work with a couple of other wholesalers that are also realtors. So that Connect, I can also bring them on later on one of those open nights, and then let them kind of run down kind of wholesaling in a nutshell. But I will tell y'all, almost 95% of wholesalers right now are brand new and cannot cover their own EMD. So, and then they
exactly.
don't realize they
They've all
have to
been
have EMD.
and they've all been carried to death. I mean, the new ones are all. So I'm still trying to hopeful we can attract, you know, find some people that, and I am. I've talked to a few that are like, I need, you know, let's get them away from the Gators, get them away from the, you know, because it's
I
like
have 2 gators that I use, and the only reason is I can send it to them, and then they don't ask me 1,000 questions. And
Yeah.
then they're gator lending, but they have their own capital. But they
Yeah.
also transactional lend for double close.
Yeah, and that's
So
important. So yeah. So guys, remember, just like I said, we've got so many resources. You know, besides Glenn, we got Casey, Simi's on. He's a great resource if you guys need to reach out to him as well. We got a lot of experience. Willie Ingram, you know, who's also working with Casey. Tam Wynn, who's also working with Casey's company. Tam, I've known Tam since I've been in the business, and Tam's awesome. If you guys ever see, he's in the group. So we have a ton of resources.
Tam, me and him had a great conversation the other day. So one of the things, so on the wholesale side that I do, I picked up 2 fast food restaurants this week. One has golden arches, so they're now one of my clients. So that was pretty daggum fantastic. But one of the things we can do with TAM is the SBA loans.
Yeah.
So with Samantha, my realtor, she's able to source the property, but we're also able to get with the franchisee now to be able to actually fund the entire franchise with only 10% liquidity is needed.
That's huge for McDonald's.
So and we can do that with any franchise, by the way.
I just watched the
So
founder
we can
last
put
night,
that
by
on.
the way.
Yeah.
Talking about
Well,
McDonald's.
that model where he's doing that is pretty much mainstream now, buying the land that McDonald's sits on. A lot of I picked up a Dairy Queen on seller finance this week. Pretty much you don't have to do anything with Dairy Queen. But the guy built the Dairy Queen, owns the land, rents it out to Dairy Queen, and makes $9,000 a month. So we picked that one up. But doing that and kind of getting into the wholesale network does help you with the EMD network, because it all blends kind of together. And there's not a whole lot of people that wholesale, that lend, that do EMD, that have realtor connects. And a lot of it has to do with just reaching out. I am calling the hedge fund list that y'all got and just looking at buy boxes. Now, the only ones I'm not calling are the ones that are out of country, because I have no way to dial them. So
Yeah,
especially with
exactly.
the
And he's talking
yeah,
about that hedge fund list that I have in the files tab. So it does all of
yeah,
our lists, and I haven't, like I said, I didn't put the endowment funds. I didn't do the pension funds up. I have them if you want to ever call them or put them in your. I mean, it's cool to put them in your LinkedIn because all of a sudden you put in 10,000 connections. You have 3,000 friends. It looks cool to everybody else. But most of those guys in pension funds, endowment funds are not going to put, they're not going to do these kind of deals. And we do have a couple of the databases I've been working on getting, and I should have, I'm just saying should have my January, and they're known real estate investors. I've been working on it for about 4 or 5 months, trying to get him a guy who has, he's using them for other reasons. He's getting also technology investors and people like do stuff in Silicon Valley for some stuff he's doing. He's just come with it. And he's got 5 databases of just known real. So I'm trying to get with him so I can use them, basically the real estate, because he doesn't need any of them and he was just gonna like delete them, and I'm like, dude, I can use them. But so we should have those maybe in January, February when we have light speed. But like I said, if you guys want to download those, you can import them into your LinkedIn and it can help you a lot of, it looks good if you're out there trying to find money. But Case has been calling on them. There are some, they're organized by continent as well, so like he's saying, he's calling the one that's here, not the ones overseas. And it does break it down, like if you there's a whole, you guys will see what I posted, some of the screenshots the other day of them. You can see that they have North America, Africa, Asia, stuff like that. So you can find them all over the world. And these are contacts, they're not necessarily companies. So it's like it's gonna say here's XYZ hedge fund, and this is like 3 guys that work there. One might be their CFO, one might be a trader. There's contacts. So at least there's people that get in contact. Whereas it's still, we've done a lot of work getting the information, but you still got to act. You still got to kind of do some manual labor on it.
yeah, and here's the thing with hedge funds, because I've wholesaled the hedge funds before. You better be dang sure it fits their buy box before you send it to them.
Yeah.
Because the second you send them 1 or 2 properties that doesn't fit their buy box to just kind of send them something, you're done. They're going to kick you off. You're not going to be able to send them anything. So if you pick up franchises, same thing. You
Cool.
need to make sure before you send it to them, you gotta make sure you fit their buy box. And if you're not sure how to do hedge funds, get somebody who does.
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest, but I got another guy that I work with on the wholesale side. He primarily does hedge funds, and they're weird too. They'll open and then they'll close, and you'll never know. So they're kind of a weird duck when you play with them.
Yeah, and they got software to do a lot of stuff behind. That's how hedge funds are successful, when they're finding stuff to short or when they're taking their positions. But if they're doing like these kind of deals, it's a little different than those. When they're trying to short something, they're like trying to short GameStop or something. Obviously there's that movie out about that right now. So yeah, if you guys are talking, like I said, my strategy is download the CSVs, and if you do want all 7 databases, we have institutional investors, we have 7 databases. I can give you the other ones in CSV. You just take them and import them directly into your LinkedIn. You still have to do about a little bit of manual labor, but it's not too bad. Maybe a couple hours, and you can. Within 30 days, you'll have about 2 to 3,000 friends and contacts on LinkedIn that are all. It's pretty impressive when people look at yours and goes, "Hey, somebody at what Peter Thiel's company." You know, you're like there's 3 or 4 people on that list that are in Peter Thiel's company. Peter Thiel's not on there, obviously. Bill Ackman's not on there, but Pershing Square is.
But I need to get better at LinkedIn, and I need to learn how to drop all this context in it on a CSV, because there's a guy at Life Changing. He said he got 15 leads this week off of LinkedIn, and he did absolutely nothing but create the connection.
And the other person, Jason, I think I've mentioned this before, is Jared Birchall is on that list, his company. If you guys want to know who Jared Birchall's only customer is, I think his initials are E&M, and he owns Twitter. And so think about Jared Birchall, who has how many hundreds of, 100, $200 billion of Elon Musk's money to invest. He's basically his investment guy. His company's on there. He's not. Just like I said, you won't see like the name guys. You won't see Bill Ackman. You won't see Ken Griffin, but you'll see Citadel in some of the databases. You'll see it more in the second group that I'm working on. You'll see a lot more of the Apollo. You'll see the Citadels, and you'll see the Jared Birchalls, and you'll see Peter Thiel and his companies. He has two companies. They're both in Silicon Valley. You'll also see Tim Draper and Jesse Draper, his daughter, who both have their own companies. And of course, the Drapers were also partly responsible for propping Elizabeth Holmes up. I guess Jesse Draper was her friend in elementary school, so they'll hold that against her. I guess they believed Theranos was going to work like everybody else that gave them $1 billion. But yeah, guys, we just resources, and I think that's a great thing when people do come in. I've talked to them for a while, and they come in like, "Holy crap, you weren't kidding." I mean, people tell me all the time. So just keep in mind. So Wednesday night, like I said, we will have that document done, EMD document. I may have to still wait for one more word, but we can all just throw that in there. One more sentence when my lawyer friend gets it back to me. He's doing me a favor. So I didn't ask him, I didn't tell him a specific time. He's just doing it because I gave him some referrals. So he's looking at his own time, just making something to compel the title companies. But Gwen's going to start out with the title company she knows that will do the deals we want. So you will have to send them initially probably through our title company. I know Casey and Gwen, you guys definitely should get together tomorrow, like you guys are talking about. Anybody else want to get together? Tuesdays and Sundays are the 2 days for anybody that's new that I kind of I'll have Sundays back now because for those of you guys who know, you'll see me post from time to time. I have another company, another business. It's just like like my hot sauce company. So I have 3 more farmers markets this year, and then I'm done with farmers markets for the year. So I'll be there tomorrow, and then on Sunday we finish the ones on Sunday. So you can reach me during the day if you want to text me or whatever. I'm usually there and I'm good unless but Tuesdays or Wednesdays, Sundays are 2 days I usually kind of like take a little time off. Otherwise I'm pretty much 9 to 9 every day, 7 days a week, except for that. Helping you guys build this. And everything we're doing at 101 is for you guys. Everything we do at Lightspeed is for you guys. There'll be revenue share. You guys want to take any interest in it just to see what Chris Galicki did the numbers back in 2019 and 20. You'll see PMA University or PM University, there's 4 or 5 together. Those numbers are probably going to be better and stronger now because people are still doing virtual, a lot of conferences. I plan on being at a couple of MPLA conferences for my football next year. I'm probably going to go to Southern Charm with John Morey. John Morey is, you guys know that he's with Jim Ingersoll in Jim's group. They have 385,000 people in the Real Estate Investor Network. He just did his first conference a couple weeks ago. I'm probably going to go to this conference next year in September. But we're going to be promoting the virtual system at all these conferences. And like I said, then you guys will obviously 33% revenue share will be. So, when I'm out there, I'll be promoting you guys as well. Probably going to go to probably 8 to 10 events, including some family office conferences that are just dealing with real estate. So that's all for you guys. So everything we're doing right now is to help you guys. If you have any questions, like I said, you guys want to get an EMD, you got an EMD, money that you want to put into it. If you've got GAP, if you know people, if you all of a sudden you're in there, you look, somebody's looking to place money, get them with Gwen. Right away and get them. If they're looking to put 100,000, 500,000 or place money, that they can do. We got EMD and GAP. EMD they can do rinse and repeat. You can do a couple a week if you wanted to. If you had you put the right money in. If they want to do GAP, if they're looking for longer tail deals, anybody out there see that has money to place. And then, like I said, if you guys, Casey's company could do DSCR, they can also do, like I said, conventional FHA VA. So you can go to Casey, he can connect you with Ryan. DSCR, Casey and Addison can take care of you. We got Willie Ingram, we got Simi's on right now with us. We got a couple other people that are really strong. Cameron, if you guys want to go through Cameron's program for 50 properties, then you can go through Cameron. But if you're going to go through EMD, then go through Gwen. So there's a lot of stuff going on, guys.
So Willie's approved with us now as one of our GAP lenders.
Yes. And I got my link finally. Too, so.
Yeah, and then I talked to Simi today. We're working on some lots. Okay, so just kind of FYI, if you're gonna send us lots over, they're tricky. They take a minute. It's a very one-off kind of investor that takes a look at them nationwide. But if it has a lot of issues going on with it, it
It broke up for a second, so
might not be worth the time to even. I'm in a hilly park, but lots are tricky. They take a minute. Commercials, we can do them. The horizontal and vertical developments, storage units, hotels, shopping centers, restaurants, $200 million resorts. We can do them. But they do take a minute to even get terms on. And then there's a whole stuff behind that. Because we're not just going to. So, or 200 million.
I think Matt, were you were trying to sign up with
That
Life
being
Changing as well?
said,
Yeah. So Matt was trying to get in with
who
you
is
guys
that?
as well. I know he just signed up with Vizio. It's Matt.
Who was
Matt
that?
Moreland. He's on right now. He's one of our OG guys. Yeah. So Matt, I
Hey,
know
how's it
you
going?
said you were trying to get on with Life Changing.
Yeah, if it was possible to reach out to you, Casey, about the life changing and Glenn
Yeah.
for the EMD, if I can possibly affiliate or see what type of role and value I can bring to you guys.
Yeah. And so you can affiliate with us and do kind of more like a referral, and then we can broker later on. Or we do have our new training that's up and available. Basically, you're just putting money down to hold it. So you have skin in the game on your first deal. You get your first deal, and we give you the money back, plus what you make on your commissions. So it teaches you everything. We're required to go through it, but they're kind of handpicking who they give the course to, but you can still do some stuff. So that's the little plug I got to give for that. But I will tell y'all, with Vizio, they've gotten so tight, I can't even send them anything anymore.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit more. I've seen some stuff
there-
coming out there. And Rock still is, I know Willie was pursuing their correspondent lending program with Erica Walker as well. And I know Rock is still, doing their correspondent thing. Kogo, we just had Ginger just got back from Kogo. Hopefully she's out of the hospital. She went up for you guys who know Ginger. She went up to do the master broker class and got food poisoning and spent 2 days in the hospital. So she's better now. And Lee and Arnold and they're good friends of Kevin and I, so they will take care of her. They're going to make sure she gets her master broker certification. They're two of the best guys in the business, Lee Arnold. So that's why I got my private money broker training through 5 years ago. So he's so Ginger's back. She's healthy now. She's good. If you guys reach into, she isn't here tonight, but she may be on Wednesday night after last week. But getting food poisoning when you go to take because Master Broker at Kogo gets 100% financing across the board, and after 6 deals, they get their money back on the course. They have to fly up there to Idaho and spend 5 days. They actually work in the underwriting, they work in loan processing, they work in transaction coordination that week while they learn. They're already a private money broker now. They go to become master broker. When they come back 100%, they can partner with people at 100% financing across the board. It also goes up to 70% ARV. So that's incredible. So, like I said, that's just another resource we have. Ginger's going to have some of that, but she still has to go back and take the part that she missed when she was in the hospital. But she's going to be master broker before too long. So just another resource. Also, I'm going to throw this out because you guys know I've been updating you on. We've also got the situation is really, you guys know Ari. If you know, Ari's one of our PMA OG people like Matt and Angel. Ari's brother died last year, but Ari and his brother were both in the IDF. Ari lives in Florida. He's a paramedic. He was a medic in the IDF. So, if you guys ever see Ari in any of the groups that we're in, he's in our group as well. He's all that stuff, reach out because I know he's probably going through a lot of family and friends involved. He has a lot of friends in the Israeli Defense Force. So almost like a lot of my friends in our military. So just kind of reach out, they're going through a lot of stuff right now with that whole situation. So that's kind of off topic of what yeah.
I was gonna say Addison's also in IDF.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So she was a commander in intelligence gathering and border operations.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So she was there during the attack. So she got out. But she lost 2 friends and her entire family was drafted.
Yeah, there's a lot of people affected by that. My brother knows a lot of, because people know my brother's my brother retired from the Marine Corps. He had theater rank as a general. He was, he retired as a colonel, but he was a third rank. He was the JAG officer. He was the chief JAG officer for the. He was actually the JAG officer for the Marine Commandant in the at one time. So he's got a lot of friends over there. He's doing some work. We're kind of a little off topic, and I might turn the recording off, but we got a lot of stuff done tonight. So let me go ahead and kind of before we go into anything that's like personal or these kind of topics, if anybody has anything, like I said, EMD wise, just remember talk to Glenn. You guys can talk to Casey, obviously in the group. Timmy's got some great programs. Willie's got great programs. Just reach out, guys. And like I said, if you know people that want to bring some money to the table, get them to Gwen so she can get them in the program. We will have the forum on Wednesday night. And like I said earlier, we have extended till the week before Christmas. So we'll take Thanksgiving week off that Wednesday and come back the next week. And we're gonna go all the way till December just because we have much more information to I want to make sure everybody gets the branding LLCs, the basics and stuff. We try to do that 3 times a year. I'll probably also do one night of scope of work stuff, contractors, scope of work and rehab schedules because everybody needs that. Everybody needs a touch up on that once in a while. We do have those forms, guys. It's SOW in the files tab. There's a few other forms, rehab calculators, things like that. You guys can download everything you want. Everything and everybody's new. Everything that's on our thing you can download as yours. You can put your name, you can, whatever, use it for your own company, use, find and replace, edit, copy and paste, whatever. So with that said, guys, I'm going to take the recording off.
I am gonna bounce here in a second. I got my W.